My name is Gidget Pryor. I am the Microsoft Global Portfolio Director here at Skillsoft. And my background is that I spent a few decades almost as an instructor, many of those as a Microsoft certified trainer. Then I moved on to becoming a solutions engineer here at the company, developing custom and tailored solutions. And now I manage the overall portfolio and our offerings with Microsoft. And I'll turn it over to Matt to introduce himself.
Thank you, Gidget. My name's Matt Barclay. I work as part of the Strategic Alliances team, and I'm responsible for looking after Microsoft in EMEA. Like Gidget, I've been with the company quite a long time, nearly 20 years or so, and I've had a variety of roles, solutions architect, coming up with solutions training programs for Microsoft, and also making sure that we're driving all of the right technologies that link to Microsoft. So I'm handing you back over to Gidget, who will take you through the first part of the presentation.
Thank you. So today we're going to focus on leading in the age of data, AI, and Power Platform learning. We are a training company, and so we are very focused on learning, both instructor-led and in our blended platform as well, which Matt will be talking about in a little bit. So it's a fact that every human on Earth creates an average of 1.7 megabytes of data per second, which is really a staggering statistic. In the past 2 years alone, 90% of the world's total data has been created. So you can see that we're in a very, very rapid-paced environment, generating new data all the time. Microsoft Power Platform is a bit of a suite of technologies brought together. So it's all these interconnected technologies that work together to provide powerful solutions for businesses. The Power Platform is low-code development tools. It allows users to build custom business applications very quickly, very easily. And it does include these 4 components that we see. So Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. And you'll notice under each one of those, there's a little bit more about what each of them does. So Power BI, you can create things like dashboards. Power Apps, you could create a mobile or web app. Power Automate, you can automate things like workflows. And then Virtual Agents is where you would create something like an AI-powered bot. Microsoft AI is artificial intelligence technologies that can be integrated into the Power Platform applications to give you capabilities for things like natural language processing, image recognition, predictive analytics. And so all of these tie together. AI, when we talk about AI, we're really talking about data. We're probably talking about Power Platform as well, because they are so interconnected. In the second tier services, we have things like Common Data Service, Data Connectors, and the AI Builder. You can't really have a dashboard unless you have data behind it. So data drives this entire solution. And that's why we're focused today on all 3 of these technologies, data, AI, and Power Platform. We want to do a little bit of a certification and career spotlight. Now, there are many, many certifications in Microsoft. There are close to 60 certifications that are possible to obtain. We're going to focus on 3. We're going to take one example from the Power Platform environment, one from AI, and one from data. But there are many others that you can pursue. So let's look at a data engineer. What is a data engineer? They're responsible for the design, the building, and the maintenance of the data infrastructure and the data pipelines, so the data flowing through in the organization. They generally work with very large volumes of data. They might build and manage data warehouses. They might bring things in through the data factory into a data lake or other data repository. They use technologies like Data Factory, Databricks, HD Insights. So if you've ever heard those keywords, that's the data engineering focus. The data scientist, which is another technology area, another career that you might pursue, is more around the analytics with the data. So just depending on which direction you might prefer to go. If you wanted to pursue this certification, we do have an instructor-led course that you could come and take called 821-362 is the course code at Global Knowledge. And it is also DP203. You can find that on our website either way. And then you have GK 821763, which is our exam prep deep dive. So DP203 is the course content. It's learning those technologies, becoming skilled in that area. Then we have an instructor-led exam prep deep dive, and we see very, very successful certification pass rates when someone does both of those and then schedules, takes, and passes their certification exam. So the exams are difficult, but the exam preps really focus on practicing for the exam, focuses on strategies for taking a Microsoft exam, and then, of course, focuses around the specific content areas that you will be tested on. AI engineering career. So this is the professional who specializes in developing applications, software, and systems that incorporate the artificial intelligence technologies. They typically work with machine learning, natural language processing, maybe with computer vision and other AI techniques that you can learn and work with to make decisions. So step one would be to take the course, which is GK 101-000 or the AI 102 course. There is not currently an exam prep deep dive here, but we have support for you in an exam prep study guide. So it is a deep look into what types of things you might see on the exam. And perhaps soon we will have a engineering exam prep deep dive. And then, of course, scheduling, taking, and hopefully passing your certification exam on the first try. The Power Platform developer is the professional who specializes in building those custom business solutions that we were discussing. The Power Platform is low code, no code solutions to your business problems and would allow you to do things like automate your workflows, as we went into. So step one here is going to be to take the instructor-led training course. So 100-997 or PL-400, that's the developer. And then there is an exam prep deep dive. We recently ran a program with this particular combination for a company where they were really struggling to have people be able to take and pass the PL-400 exam. And we saw very, very high pass rates. The customer was extremely happy with how that went as a solution. So you could come and take the course and then perhaps in the same week, take your exam prep deep dive, or perhaps you want to break in between the two. So you can do that either way. All right, so let's talk about some next steps here. You may just be hearing of some keywords or buzzwords, or, there's a technology that you need skilling in, but you're not sure which course that's in. You can reach out and contact us. We'll be happy to guide you. If it's not something that you see here on the screen, especially, you might have another key area of interest, and we're here to serve you in that way. But let's say you just want to know a little bit more about AI. There is a fundamentals course on AI. It's called AI 900. And there are many fundamentals courses. So the DP 900 is also those core concepts around data. So there's AI, DP, PL, and that 900 series, which is the fundamentals level. But let's say that you know that you want to learn more about Databricks and you want to know which class that's in. Well, that's in that DP203. So we've put in this slide just some keywords that you might hear in those areas. Let's say that you were the administrator on premise for a long time of your SQL Server databases, and now your company is moving to the cloud, and you want to know how to do that administration either in a hybrid environment or you're going to move completely into the cloud, and you want to know what's similar about how you did it on premise as opposed to how you work now in the cloud. We have, sorry about that, we have the DP300 course that you could take. If you want to learn how to develop bots, you would take the AI 102. So I won't cover all of these, but that gives you an idea. Microsoft has a lot of courses around data and AI, some very exciting offers that Microsoft has put into their curriculum. So we've listed that here for you. So the Azure AI Fundamentals, we mentioned Azure AI, OpenAI. If you just want, kind of a one-day exposure to OpenAI, you can come take that class. Or if you want to become an engineer, there's support for you around each of those. And of course, the same is true for data. You might have heard of Microsoft Fabric. It's a very exciting new area of technology. So Microsoft has created a course around Microsoft Fabric. But perhaps you're not interested in the data and AI solution area necessarily. You might be interested in becoming an Azure administrator. Microsoft has a certification for that. They have a training path for that. So this is just an example of all the many key areas from Microsoft. So what is it you're trying to do? Are you more of an infrastructure person in the cloud? Well, there's a lot of ways that you can go and pursue that. If you're more of the, data scientist instead of the data engineer, you could pursue that as well. And this picture is, obviously has a lot on it, but this shows you how extensive Microsoft's offerings are and how extensive the different categories are that you could get certified in. So you could pursue from a skills level, or you could pursue in your certification. So we would love to talk to you more about that if you have an interest. All right, and I just wanted to show you a little video on the Azure Administrator. And it's really more of an example of what you might see if you came to one of our instructor-led training courses. All right, and with that, I will turn it over to Matt.
Thank you very much, Gidget. That's great. Okay, so I'm just going to spend a little bit of time covering all the areas of Skillsoft Global Knowledge and how we can help you with your Microsoft training and certification. Instructor-led training, or ILT, it's the key part of building mission-critical skills. Now, whether that's security or data and AI or cloud, or whether you're doing it in Power Platform, but ILT provides that environment for an immersive learning experience with a world-renowned instructors taking you through the Microsoft authorized content. You get to do a series of lectures along with hands-on labs that give you all-knowing time to practice all of the skills you've learned and make sure that you can actually implement them in a real-world scenario. So that's how it sort of ties together. And of course, all of the content is Microsoft authorized content. As we've mentioned, part of that ILT, instructor-led training portfolio, we've got the public training schedule. So that's we have global schedule of classes. So whether you're in North America or whether you're somewhere in EMEA, we've got a public schedule class for you. We can do private group training. So that's where we come on site and we deliver a class for you. Some people find that a good way of doing it. Others prefer the public schedule. We can also do tailored events. So maybe you need to look at doing a 4-day class, but you're going to do it over 4 weeks. So you're going to do it every Monday or whatever it is. Or perhaps you want to do groups of people. You might do sort of morning and afternoon sessions and extend class deliveries over several weeks. But we can tailor whatever it is you need to do. So that's the key points of the 3 key pillars of instructor-led training. Here's a great example of our engineering team. So our solution engineers come up with various customized programs. So in this case, it was it's private instructor-led training. It gives us the ability to obviously customize and deliver sort of a blended class delivery. We can focus on the customer's needs. So if they've got a particular area, so they want to spend more time on Azure security, we can do that. On this one, this was actually a security project where we were giving them some real world scenarios. So where we've got the capstone projects, each part of the day, we gave them some real world scenarios for them to work on, which obviously gives them that chance to utilize and see the skills they've been learning and actually put them into practice. We then also do some exam prep deep dives, as Gidget mentioned earlier on. We can do that as part of it, with obviously the overall goal giving them the highest possible chance to pass those all important Microsoft certifications. Here's a great example of a Microsoft program that's taking students on a cloud journey. As you can see from this roadmap, it sort of starts at the PowerShell side of it and goes all the way through to Linux administration. The great thing about this one, it really does show the strength of a blended approach. So the topics include Windows Server workloads, which is obviously implementing and networking virtual machines, as well as cloud models and some Azure administration. This sort of leads them to become a systems administrator who can install, configure and manage and support IT resources, whether that's on-prem or in the cloud or in a hybrid environment. And it basically takes someone with no experience to have all the experience to let them meet the major needs of organizations in the current workplace. So as you can see here, the journey starts with PowerShell, the PowerShell skills that make Azure a tameable beast. What we've done here, we've extended the 5-day delivery to 7 days. This gives the students more times with hands-on labs. From PowerShell, we moved into the world of Windows Server using some legacy content from Microsoft, where we focus on various elements, whether it's VPNs and networking, or managing infrastructure, things like that, just making sure that the students really have all those skills before they go and take on the all-important Azure world. We then do Azure Fundamentals. Now, this is quite interesting. So what we've actually done here, we've taken a 1-day class, we've extended it to actually 4 days. So we've got 2 days of delivery where the students get lots of hands-on lab time. We've then added in some instructor-mentored self-study. It's where we've been utilising our 𝗬𝗬𝗍 platform, as well as courseware and labs from the actual delivery. And then the last day of that class delivery is actually an instructor-driven revision session. So this is where the students get to use mock exams. They get to take the class, and then they get the opportunity to review with the instructor along with the group that they're going through. From there, we then move them on to an Azure AZ-104, which again, this is a 4-day class. We've extended the delivery to 8 days. This gives them a lot more hands-on lab time. We also do instructor-guided self-study, again, using 𝗬𝗍𝗍, as well as courseware and labs from the delivery. This really does give the students loads of time to practice what they've been learning and get that all-important hands-on experience. In this example as well, we sort of intersperse some of that with instructor-led to obviously self-study. We then sort of, towards the back end of the class, move to sort of pure ILT, where we do AZ800 and AZ801, which sort of covers the Windows Server core infrastructure, sort of hybrid area. We've also covered, and very, very important, as Gidget's already mentioned, we've covered a day of generative AI here before rounding out with a session on Linux system administration. This program really does highlight the best of blended learning approach that Global Knowledge or Skillsoft Global Knowledge can deliver for you using ILT and 𝗬𝗍𝗍. Okay, so you're looking to optimize your training budget. So we've got various options. We've got the one-time purchase. You select a course, choose your enrollment method, and there you go, you're on it. We also do ILT subscriptions, access unlimited enrollments across the most popular classes for an entire year. We've also got prepaid packages, so extend your learning dollars and receive maximum savings for all year convenience. We've also got an in-show offer, which is a 40% discount on ILT classes, obviously linked to all of our Microsoft classes that Gidget referenced on a couple of slides back. And we're also adding access to our 𝗬𝗫𝗄. So that also, depending on the package you choose, you may get some free access to Skillsoft's 𝗬𝗫𝗄 platform as well. Thank you very much for the presentation.